let's go for plan B, the smarter approach, which is not to attack a pair of direwolves head on. That's fighting like a clanner, which is not the smartest move. Oh, that is rough. Instead, we're going to fight like a mercenary. Who needs honor when you are here to win? Hello my friends, and welcome to the conclusion of Hardcore MechWarrior 3. We are so very close to the end of this hard-fought campaign. It's been a long road, it's been challenging, there's been many massive fights and hurdles to clear, and we are so very, very close to making it off this planet alive. We have just a few small hurdles to clear first. It's not going to be easy, but that's where the fun lies. So a quick recap of how we got here. The fight back against the clans has effectively resulted in the destruction of Clan Smoke Jaguar. Galaxy Commander Brendon Corbett has escaped, has made it to this planet here, Planet Tranquil, and has been calling for any remaining forces to join him so that he may rebuild the clan. And this is where we come in. Our commando unit was intending to stamp out that revival, to put an end to their recovery plans. We, of course, had everything go wrong, as is the way these things usually go, but we managed to take out a mech factory and other production facilities. We moved south to Operations Area 2, cleared the dam, underground facilities, other manufacturing and distribution, and then the larger mech factory. Made it across to Operations Area 3. This is where we had Lincolnosis trying to put us out of, or get us out of the way. Had a couple of run-ins with him. Of course, we came out on top. And this is where our missions were supposed to end. We were supposed to be picked up and taken off planet. Mission success, but of course, that's not the way things have gone. So we've had to fight north. We found our way into Operations Area 4, fought on up to Phoenix Base. Galaxy Commander Corbett is doing his best to prevent our escape. There was a shuttle that we were attempting to, or dropship we were attempting to use. That's gone. A shuttle that we were almost able to capture, missed that, and now we need to head out into the snow. This is the final leg, the last few missions where it all comes to a conclusion. So we've made it now to Operation 4, Mission 4.
Okay. So there is the Galaxy Commander's personal shuttle out here. That could get us back to the Eclipse, though it means abandoning our mechs. The easy part is figuring out where it landed.
We are not going to like this.
No, you're not. If Galaxy Commander Corbett is finished hunting the rescue company, then he's coming for us. It's only a question of how far away he is as to when we'll meet up with him.
Sooner the better. I'd say we owe him a few by now.
At least. Okay, we pulled this data from the records at the shuttle pad. It's a heavily fortified base. I doubt we have anything that can scratch it. However, we can hope to get at the power relay, which is protected within the range of the large cavity at its middle. Destroy the relay and clear out all enemy mechs, and we'll see what we can do from there. Weather looks pretty bad up ahead, so the MFBs will move forward and then guide the rest of you in. Good luck.
So in the last episode, we had a look at how the previous mission connects in with this one, and we've headed off into the snowfields. We heard the MFBs mention that there was a bit of a snowstorm, weather is looking a bit rough, and that may come into play very shortly. So we're here attacking a fortress. We're not really 100% sure of what it is we're looking for or really trying to achieve. We're just fighting tooth and nail to try and escape. There are, of course, additional enemy forces on their way to the planet. there's very little chance of our allied units being able to assist us. Brendon Corbett is doing his best to prevent that from happening. So we are very much just making things up as we go and hoping to find any advantage that we can get. And speaking of advantages, we're going to have some fun with some new mechs, because the way that I see this, we've had a bit of a ways to go to get here, and our mech techs will have had some time to bring some new mechs online. And here it is. Great Death, Daiichi. This is something I've been looking forward to. The Direwolf is just one of those mechs that isn't just iconic, but is also a terrifying sight to behold. And I do really feel like the MechWarrior 3 representation of it is one of the best that we've ever seen. It is a hulking mech. It is heavily armed. It is offensive at any range. And I'm hoping that we will be able to do some serious damage. We are taking the Daiichi Prime. As we said, effective at any range. Big spread of weapons, 4 ER large lasers, 1 LRM-10, 4 medium pulse lasers, and 2 Ultra AC-5s. Would normally be a pretty toasty configuration, but we are in a snow environment, so hoping we'll be able to keep those large lasers firing and soften them up from range. Should work very well for us. And now we have our Annihilator. We've been carrying this one for a long time. We picked it up way back at the end of Operation 2, so I figured that our mech techs have had enough time to work a bit of a refit into this one. Even though it is not an Omni mech, they've had enough time to do a little bit of work. So we have swapped out the Inner Sphere medium pulse lasers for Clan ER medium lasers. So that should allow for a little bit of extra range, but also opens up some tonnage for additional ammunition. That's one of the big weak points of the Annihilator, is just not having enough ammo to do the job. Coupled as well, of course, with its very slow speed. That's the only thing I'm wondering with these two mechs is I hope we're not caught out in the open. We'll see how that goes. Speed really is life. We're not going to be able to avoid LRMs or missile weapons very well, but hopefully we'll be able to tank the damage with our massive amounts of armor. And our final two mechs, we have, of course, kept our Mad Cat here for Opponery back into a D configuration, 2 ER PPCs, 4 Streak SRM6s. It's just massive firepower. And Alan is sticking to his Sunder. We're using our refit alternate A configuration, the Clan Spec PPC and Gauss rifle with 3 LRM5 and 2 medium pulse lasers. This one has served us pretty well, and I actually feel this Sunder has done a pretty solid job for us. I'm impressed. Couldn't be happier. So, attacking a base head on, you know that this is going to be a hell of a fight. And as mentioned, the weather is working against us. It'll keep things cool, but we'll see what that means in just a moment. And we're dead.
Critical hit. Critical hit.
There's the Thor.
Targeting. Critical hit. Damn, I kicked.
Right, Thor done, but where is the last Orion? There he is. We're in trouble. Knew it.
Critical hit. Critical hit.
Gee, that's rough. So we lost. Oh, we're stuck. One down, but we're stuck here.
Critical hit. Critical hit. Critical hit.
Yeah, this has not gone well. Oh.
Critical hit. Critical hit. Critical hit. All systems nominal.
Lost our bearing from the storm. Copy.
Can anyone else make that out?
Come in, mobile field base. Nada. I'd say we're on our own. Why am I not surprised?
Because you're just so wonderful, Dominic.
Okay, we have a slightly revised plan, which is, of course, play to our strengths, fight at range,
Targeting.
and use our lance mates.
Down imminent.
First things first, we need to put down
Targeting.
these three,
Targeting. Down imminent.
2 Mad Cats and a Thor.
Not so easy, Freebird. You will have the honor of being crushed under my feet.
The strength of the Daiichi, of course, is the 4 ER large lasers. So we need to use them.
Targeting. Down imminent.
Our lance mates are also capable of dealing damage at different ranges.
Down imminent. I kick ass. One in a million shot. Targeting. Targeting. Secondary objective complete.
So we made it through the first fight. What did it cost us?
Down imminent.
It cost us an Annihilator. So, you know what? The Annihilator maybe is not quite worth its tonnage. It is a terrifying mech face to face, but it has a fatal flaw, which of course is its extremely low speed. It means that it is just a damage sponge. It is impossible for it to avoid just about any attack, and that's why it didn't make it.
Targeting.
But how are the rest of them doing? Not bad with the Mad Cats
Targeting.
and the Sunder looking good. So the plan from here, we know we've got those Orions and the Thor down to the right. They have LRMs. That's 4 LRM-20s between those 3 mechs. We have the range on them with the ER large lasers. Our remaining 2 mechs have ER PPCs and Gauss rifles. So we need to use our damage dealing ability at long range to our advantage. So here they are. These guys are patrolling by the looks of it. Here's one of them. So he's turning back. Yeah, they are patrolling this this section along to the right.
Targeting.
1
Targeting.
and 2, and there's the Thor with them.
Down imminent.
So we're at 950 meters. LRMs have a range of 800.
Targeting. Down imminent.
So we can damage these guys before they can touch us.
Down imminent.
But as soon as they close the distance,
Down imminent.
it's a different story.
Down imminent.
Don't want to get too distracted by that turret over there, but also don't want to miss it. So yes, our MFBs, we've been separated from them.
Down imminent.
So yes, we've been separated from our MFBs. We lost them in the storm.
Down imminent.
They are just down here in this little ravine. I think it is actually really cool to have a section of the game where you don't have MFB support, but they put a nav point right where they are, so if you're paying attention to nav points, you'd always find them. Which is, I think, kind of takes away from it a little bit,
Targeting.
but it is what it is. There they are, down here. Now we've got a job to do. And that is
Consider it done.
to deal with these guys. I want that Thor to drop.
Meltdown imminent. Do some help about now. Meltdown imminent.
So the fight's on.
Meltdown imminent.
Thor down, 2 Orions.
I bring the pain.
1 Orion.
Targeting.
Keep on him.
Say so.
Orion down.
Consider it done.
Nicely done. Now we're taking PPC fire from the fortress.
Targeting. What is your location?
Close enough. Hold them off.
Mayday, mayday.
Looks like a Mad Cat has lost an arm. That's a PPC that's lost then.
Meltdown imminent.
So we push on.
Targeting.
We continue the assault. Turret down here needs to go.
Targeting. Meltdown imminent.
There's a Thor Prime.
Meltdown
So he's got a single ER PPC and an LRM-15 that can damage us at range.
Meltdown imminent.
But we should
Meltdown imminent.
be able to handle that.
Meltdown imminent.
Nearly done. He's down. Good.
Targeting.
So we're nearly at the center, nearly at our objective.
Targeting.
We have a couple of turrets,
Good shot.
Targeting.
that last Mad Cat, and then in the center, 2 Daiichi. And by the way, I love the way they're tracking us. Look at them in the bottom left. They know we're here. They know we're coming. And they are happy to wait. That is such a clanner approach, isn't it?
Targeting.
So we need to deal with the forces up here first, though.
Targeting. Meltdown imminent. Targeting. Targeting.
And then we can make our way into the center. Alright, so our Mad Cat is legged. It may just be me and the Sunder from here. But with how tight the area we're moving into is, that might not be a bad thing.
Consider it done.
Yes, sir. Meltdown imminent.
So that Mad Cat has 2 ER PPCs. It doesn't matter what mech you're in. That's going to hurt any time. Thankfully,
We have enemy forces penetrating the interior.
we're able to deal with it.
Captain Forrest, you are on top of this
Targeting.
situation. I will handle it.
So this is it.
Targeting.
The 2 Daiichi guarding our final objective. Happy to just sit and take pot shots. Got a pair of helicopters out there, which is, I guess, just an annoyance from here. How much armor do we have? We've got a fair bit.
Targeting.
Dominic, how about you? Yeah, you're doing okay-ish.
Need help.
Well, I guess the fight's on.
I'm hitting the eject.
I need some help here.
Maybe not. That is terrifying, that sound. Can we actually get in there? So we lost our Mad Cat in that tiny little kill box.
I'm right behind.
And I think that we may want to avoid that. So let's go for plan B, the smarter approach, which is not to attack a pair of dire wolves head on. That's fighting like a clanner, which is not the smartest move.
I'm under attack.
Oh, that is rough. Instead, we're going to fight like a mercenary. Who needs honor when you are here to win? We didn't come this far to lose. Through poor tactics. So we're on. Come on. First one down, the second. Where are you? Gauss rifle's hurt. Out of Ultra AC5 ammo. We're so sluggish. But we got it. 1 against 2. Maybe we are fighting like a clanner after all.
Mission successful. Power loss. Heating units are down. Interior weapon systems have failed. We are abandoning the fortress.
Nay, you will remain. If you freeze at your post, you will not abandon it to the enemy. Do you understand? Glacial Ridge, I demand a status report. Do not abandon the fortress.
He's gonna be very unhappy. Hey, score another tin can.
Good to see you all, even you, Gunner. I think we've got most of the interference filtered out now, though it was touch and go for a while. We weren't sure we'd ever find you again once we lost contact. The only transmission which came through clearly was Brendon Corbett, so he's close. Everyone watch your 6. We're sorting through the material pulled out of the fortress. Next briefing coming up in a few minutes. Stand by.
By the way, I love that even the briefings reference everything happening in real time. Pulling information from the fortress and them having to work on a briefing, which we'll be hearing very shortly. But how good are those exchanges between Galaxy Commander Corbett and his forces? They're in trouble and they know it. He refuses to accept their defeats. And we keep fighting against all odds.
Here's an overview of the facility we're about to enter. We pulled it from the fortress. I'm afraid that this is going to have to be a solo mission for you, Lance Leader. However, if experience is any clue, we'll only see elementals and light mechs.
So what is this place?
From what we've pieced together, this one facility produces enough geothermal energy to supply the entire peninsula and then some. Each of these triangular areas will house core tap systems. At the far end, we have an elevator that will lift us to the caldera above. We can't risk more than 1 mech in that inferno. I'm afraid you're elected, Lance Leader.
Nothing like changing things up. We're on our own for this mission. It's a good thing that we have a Daiichi. So very different. We've come from the cold snow outside, big open spaces where LRMs spell death, to now a much tighter, confined area. So that is absolutely going to influence our choices and our tactics. It's still a relatively simple mission ahead. We have 4 objectives that we need to hit and then an exit point. So obviously we're going to need to change our approach from last time out. We don't need the range any longer, and 4 ER large lasers is much too hot for the environment we're about to enter. So we're switching into alternate configuration A. That uses a single Gauss rifle and 3 large pulse lasers for some awesome medium to long range punch, and 2 Streak SRM6s for up close. Also has an AMS, which is useful. Now this configuration has a little bit of spare tonnage, which we've used for additional ammunition. This should allow us to be a bit more flexible and manage our heat a bit better. Pulse lasers are actually quite good for heat management, as we're able to control the burn time. Solo mission, very different to what we've been facing for the rest of the campaign, more or less, but oh so close to the end. Come on. It doesn't matter what mech you're in. Getting hit by a Gauss rifle and a PPC hurts. And I love the recoil in this game. There he is. That's our last guy. Oh, he's fallen in. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, wow. So he, our last enemy, fell in all by himself, blew up, and that exploded the station and the bridges. So we might actually have a small problem here, folks, because we need to get across and the bridge is gone. And I don't have a very maneuverable mech. This could end in tears. I'm not confident. I am pretty sure that there's just no way, as ridiculous as it seems, to get up or across here. We're about to fall in. Yeah. Oh! Oh, maybe not. Wait, for a playthrough that's supposed to be about immersion... Oh. Yeah, so... we're done here. There is no way for us to get back up. That's game over, unfortunately.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal. Mech power-up detected.
Alright, first task.
Targeting. Targeting.
There's a Sunder on his way.
Targeting.
There he is.
Mech power-up detected.
You need to keep the pressure on him. Check him out in the bottom left corner. And the way that the Gauss rifle recoil works, you can't get a shot off. And he's done. Love it.
Targeting. Linked fire engaged.
Now the elementals.
Single fire engaged. Group fire engaged.
Fortunately, this is where pulse lasers will help. But let's take out these objectives whilst we're here. This is what we've come to destroy. Core taps, as they're described.
Primary objective complete.
Using the lava as a power supply for the fortress that we just destroyed. So we need to cross some open terrain. There's another Sunder over there.
Try to trip them into the lava.
So we need to get across to cover. Unfortunately, in an environment like this, we don't really want to be trading out in the middle. Should now be clear, but we need to put these elementals down. Now that is another beautiful demonstration of why I appreciate the pulse lasers in this game. They make elementals so much easier to deal with. We'll focus on our objective whilst we've got a little bit of breathing room. But this guy's coming for us. We know he's on the way. He doesn't stand a chance.
Primary objective complete.
But he wouldn't be a clan warrior if he wasn't charging a dire wolf head first in an elemental, would he? Get the core tap from the start.
Core meltdown imminent.
Thankfully, the pulse lasers
Primary objective complete.
aren't that bad at managing heat. They're doing alright. The prime configuration would have been a horrible idea in this environment. Now this guy's got a PPC and a Gauss rifle. Which hurt no matter what mech you're in. We suffer the recoil as well. Throws our aim off. Makes our job much harder. But now we're facing the heat. Got him. Those little duels, they are good fun. So we have one Sunder left. And a couple of elementals for support. Actually, well no, he's coming to us. So we're on. Need to be very wary of our heat here. I don't like it. In the water. Keep cool. Come on. Ooh, that hurts. But we got him. Alright. Elementals. This is it for you guys. 1, 2, 3. And job done. There's our elevator. Here's the last objective. And that is enough. Enough of this area. Let's get out of here.
Mission successful.
Oh, sure. Just a few light Sunders. Good call.
Oh, bloody lava lake. I'm looking forward to the snow and ice again after that sauna.
We need to hold for a few more minutes. I've got some men heading topside for a quick look, so we won't be coming up blind.
Once again, I love the way that this all plays out in real time. We've made it through, we've got a way up to an area above, and our tactical officer needs to assess the situation first before we know how to proceed. We're making things up as we go. He is doing an admirable job, and we have no choice but to fight on. Hello friends, it's time for a quick detour. Something I've been pointing out through this playthrough is the way that the levels in the campaign tie into each other, and the end of Op 4 is no different. We're able to jump jet over the walls of the caldera, which now puts us back into the same environment that we were in just 2 missions ago. Running around the perimeter, we eventually reach the same ravine that our lost MFVs were waiting in. At the end of the ravine is a tunnel. This leads directly into the lava mission, which can actually be accessed if you're playing either the mission before or after it. Here we see the core taps that we destroyed and the elevator that took us to the caldera. Looking at the map, you can see that unfortunately the size of this underground area doesn't quite line up with the space above, but you can tell that they put a lot of thought and effort into this. So good. Exiting back out the way we came, we can then head back to the fortress, which is exactly as we left it. When I was playing this game for the first time back in 1999, I wasn't sure of how these last 3 missions connected to each other, which did make things feel a little less immersive for me compared to the earlier parts of the campaign, as I just wasn't able to piece together how they were all connected. But it turns out that the connection was always there, I just hadn't been able to see it. So I wanted to share that detail with you just in case you were in the same boat as me, because the developers of this game did an incredible job at creating this wonderfully immersive campaign, and I believe it deserves to be celebrated. Oh, and bonus detail, there's an autocannon turret behind the fortress that we can take a closer look at. Check out the spent shell casings being ejected with each shot. Love it. All we have left now is the final mission. Enjoy!
finally some good news. The shuttle is up there.
Yeah, we got a ride.
Have you informed the Eclipse?
The Eclipse lifted as soon as I told Captain Taylor about the shuttle. He'll meet us in low orbit if we manage to pull this off.
Pull what off, exactly?
He's here. Corbett, up in the caldera. We picked up an open broadcast set on a repeating transmission.
This is Galaxy Commander Brendon Corbett of the clan Smoke Jaguar. I await you in the caldera. It shall be our circle of equals. Though you hardly rate the honor, I am left with no further time to deal with free birth vermin. My clan arrives, and you will not be left alive to stain the soil with your presence. Stand and fight, or be hunted like the surats you are. But you will not survive this day.
We'll come out of the elevator here, at this northwest corner just behind the shuttle pad. That might buy us a few seconds to organize, but don't hang back too long. If that shuttle is damaged, we're stuck on Tranquil. Given the usual clanner conceit, Corbett and his warriors will likely wait for us in the center of the caldera. No mistake, Commando, this is a tough one. Corbett is commanding an elite team, fitted with the best equipment the Jaguars possess. He's dangling the shuttle in front of us for bait. He knows we need it, and we'll have to go through him to get it. Everyone ready?
Final fight, and what better way to go about it? Once again, I really like the character of Brendon Corbett and the way that he is played. You hear his subordinates, I guess, his less experienced warriors with excitement or fear or uncertainty in their voices, whereas he is confident and cold. And that is a terrifying quality to have. This is it. We need to fight our way out of here. We either survive and go free, or this is our end. Nothing else beyond this. You know it's going to be a big fight, so we've scraped together the best that we have to work with. Still, we are a little bit limited by ammunition and other concerns, but that is exactly what this playthrough was all about. It has been a big battle to get to this point. We fought hard, and it all comes down to this. We're keeping the A configuration of the Daiichi, although we swapped out some of the SRM6 ammo for additional Gauss rifle ammo that we salvaged from those Sunders. We've got the rest of the team back online. We have our Sunder in the refit configuration A, PPC and Gauss rifle, perfect combo, LRMs for additional range support, and the medium pulse lasers. D configuration Mad Cat. Once again, that is the damage dealing configuration. 2 ERPPCs, 4 Streak SRM6s, and our Annihilator. Hopefully our Annihilator can deal out a bit more damage in this environment. 4 LB-10X autocannons are going to give anybody a bad day, but we need to get close enough to use them. So this is it. We begin in the northwest corner, and there is nothing between us and our escape except for Galaxy Commander Corbett himself. 4 of us, Brendon Corbett and his team. Nothing else to say. Here we go.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal. Mech power-up detected.
Got them. Right out in the middle and waiting for us.
Let's get away from the shuttle before they decide to fire through it to get at us.
Right, I love the enthusiasm.
Free birth cowards, hiding behind cover. I will gladly blast it apart to get to you.
But I do want our lance mates to lead the way. I can't really be the one tanking the damage. So yes, we need to move out. There is the shuttle, by the way. That's the prize. But we need to win it first. So as soon as we see red on the map, we're going to send our lance mates out.
Targeting.
There it is. Cauldron-born Daishi.
If you say so.
On we go.
You're the boss.
So the fight's on. They've got PPCs. And they have their own direwolf. That needs to go down. That's Corbett himself. Keep the pressure on him. Oh. And he's done. Who's next? On the Cauldron-born. We've also got that Supernova. Cauldron-born down. Madcap behind us. I'll take care of him. Oh, yes. Last one. Come on.
We've almost got it. Got it. Drop that last planner.
This is it. Oh, yes.
Mission successful.
Oh, we made it. We made it. Bloody hell. What a fight. That is intense.
With the conclusion of Operation Serpent and Bulldog and the great refusal at Stratomecti, the power of the clan invaders has finally been broken. By destroying Clan Smoke Jaguar, the Star League taught all the clans the true horrors of war as it is practiced in the Inner Sphere. At the beginning of the counterattack, the 1st Avion Guards and other forces on Port Arthur laid waste to the military capabilities of the entire planet. This policy of complete destruction was continued until the final critical battle on Tranquility, where an unsupported lance destroyed the last bastion of Smoke Jaguar resistance and manufacturing capability. The total collapse of the clan's strategy against the Inner Sphere was sealed at Stratomecti. There the Star League fought under clan rules. Elite, vat-born, bred-for-battle clan forces were defeated by the common, free-born, hardened veterans of the Inner Sphere. They are the true MechWarriors.
So there we have it. You know, in some ways I feel as if it is a little bit of a bittersweet ending. Bittersweet just in terms of acknowledging the realities of war, referring to it as the true horrors of war as practiced in the Inner Sphere. The clanners fight one-on-one with rules which are not always followed. The Inner Sphere fights with whatever means they can use. And that is why the Inner Sphere forces will be victorious, or are victorious, but, as they say, those are the horrors of war. It's a little bit apocalypse now, isn't it? It is a bit apocalypse now, acknowledging, will you do what your opponent will not do? And the Inner Sphere, the answer is yes, they will do whatever is needed to win. There's also something I really appreciate in that ending, which is referencing the 1st Avion Guards at Port Arthur. That is what the player, or that is the player in the Mech Commander game. In the Mech Commander game, the player controls a team from the 1st Avion Guards attacking the planet Port Arthur at the very start of that fight back, at the start of that operation. And this is now the end. That's something that they did so well with these games back then, is that the story was told across multiple games. The story was delivered to you through the games, and they were all connected. They all took place one after the other. You would have played MechWarrior 2, if you played MechWarrior 2 Mercenaries especially, you played through the beginnings of the clan invasion. You then would have played Mech Commander, which was the next one that came out, and started the fight back, and here we are in MechWarrior 3, right at the end, where we've put down an entire clan. Smoke Jaguar is no more. We made it off the planet. The novelization actually explains then this planet Tranquil is primarily held by Clan Wolf. We took care of Galaxy Commander Brendon Corbett, and the remaining Jaguar forces on the planet were then mopped up by Clan Wolf. So the Jaguars are no more. That's the end of it. We made it, and that is an awesome campaign. I really enjoyed that. There's so much that I appreciate. So many cool moments, so many cool details. I hope that you've had a fun time with it as well, because for me, it's been great. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. Thank you very much for being here. Thanks for coming along for this awesome ride. It's been fun. Next time, we'll have to return to Pirates Moon. So until then, bye for now.